Good morning! Welcome to a pitch presentation for Snail Mail, rated T for Teen. Snail Mail tells the story of an angelic male person, Snayl, as seen to our right here, who is forced to deliver a letter to a fearsome rock monster and decides to save a prince that the monster captured. The genre of this N64-style 3D animated film is comedy-drama, with a healthy amount of horror stylings to feed the stakes, and pee some pants. Here we see our style frame. The film will be 3D animated, but our pastel pals will be represented with forced perspective, a la the Peanuts movie, to preserve the look of my graphic art style. The film will also be styled after games of the Nintendo 64 era, with flat lighting, low-resolution textures, and a 4:3 aspect ratio perfect for playback on CRT television. Now presenting the script of Snail Mail. The film begins with establishing shots of the world of Mistamorn paired with narration from Snayl. Our next scene takes place in the kitchen/dining room of the post office where Snayl and his friends work, as well as live. It is here that we find that Snayl has a letter to deliver to Zariel, and it's not until his friends point out that she is a rock monster that Snayl agrees to deliver the letter, as he has an arm made of stone himself. As they walk up to Zariel's tower, they find Prince Danzel, and realize that the letter they are carrying is Zariel's ransom note that was sent back, meaning that Danzel has essentially been left for dead. Snayl empathizes with him and decides that he will distract Zariel while his envelope bird breaks Danzel out. Snayl flies up the tower to meet Zariel, who immediately attacks them, but stops when she sees their rock arm, recognizing that rock appendages mean an angel has sinned. She gives Snayl a "we're the same, you and I" speech, and Snayl nearly agrees, but is interrupted by Danzel, who drags them to safety. Having been injured in the scuffle, Snayl passes out and wakes up back at the post office, much to his friend's relief. That night, Snayl lies awake, thinking about what Zariel had said, and ultimately returns to her tower in the middle of the night, demanding that she tell him what he is. This is the complete script of Snail Mail as it exists in my mindscape, the ideal form it shall take. And luckily for this project, this script is a measly 16 pages. So I have alternatives. My options, as I see them, are as follows. The first is I close my eyes tightly to all of the warning signs and attempt to make the film I want to make. The second option is that I utilize a shorter script that cuts out some of what I see as being chaff. I have a shorter and shortest script at present, at 9 pages and 6 pages respectively. The final, and most nuclear option, is accepting that I cannot complete the film in the allotted time and must instead cut it in half, likely making the second half as the tower scenes are the most interesting to me personally. I will attempt these options in this order. Ideally, I can stop at the first one, but it's worth having backups. To give you an idea of what I played with trimming in the shorter versions, let's compare the long script and the shorter ones. In the longer script, we take our time meeting Parcella and Fred Poncho, Snail's co-workers and friends, but in the shorter scripts, we cut down on all that time, as Parcella and Fred Poncho are not at all the focus of the story. It's more important that we know they exist and that Snayl likes them rather than learning to like them ourselves. In the longer script, Snayl saving Danzel is in some ways an excuse for me to have the rock monster talk to Snayl about his evil arm, but in the short script we trim the arm junk to focus on the saving of Danzel, bringing it closer to the original, far gayer concept of Snail Mail from 2019. Finally, in the longer script, Snayl passes out due to his injuries, then wakes up at home before making the choice to return to the tower. In the shorter script, Snayl has simply won and has no desire to return to the tower, and the film ends there. There are other changes, but these are the primary ones that get us to a smaller page count. Yahoo! Thank you so much for playing my game. Now ask questions or else.